Hello, welcome back to Shelabobby Handmade. My name is Caitlin, also known as Shelabobby just about everywhere on the internet, and this is my channel where we talk about knitting, crochet, maybe some cross stitch, spinning, sewing down the road, but mainly knitting and crochet. And we are going to talk about a lot of socks, finished objects, new cast-ons. We got a lot to talk about. So without further delay, we're just going to jump right in to finished objects. And I have 3 to show you, and then we'll talk about some mini finished objects, mini as in small, that I've done. So the first ones, these will not fit on blockers, but Resi, if you are watching, please look away. Please skip ahead. I'm about to show your Christmas socks and you do not want to spoil them. Also, Levi Howard, my little bye-bye, if you are watching, don't spoil what the Christmas socks are going to look like for you either, because you have started watching the podcast you told me and you already know that you're getting these as well. So skip ahead. Do not see these. So these are my first finished object. These are what I'm calling my bacon and egg socks. They are socks for my friend Resi for Christmas. They were 2 50-gram cakes or skeins, and I am going to use the leftovers in a new mini to make my nephew some socks as well. So this is a self-striping sock, and it is by Area 51 Fibers, and I do not have the label, I apologize, but it is just called Bacon and Eggs. And then the red mini is a mini from my local yarn shop. So I do not know the dyer or the contents of the mini, but it is, I believe, 20 rounds for the cuff. Let me see if I wrote this down. I did indeed. It is actually 15 rounds for the cuff, 15 rounds for the leg, normal heel flap and gusset, and my normal rounded toe. Rounded toe? Wedge toe. This one. This toe. This is my normal toe. Yes, so the only thing different about these is that I do knit them on US 1.5s or 2.5 millimeter needles rather than US 1, which is what I normally knit my fingering weight socks on. And that is because I talked about this in my last episode, but I think my gauge is a little bit different than on socks than maybe the average knitter. So I need to have a little bit more stitches or a larger gauge to be able to knit socks for larger feet. So my men's socks I have to do on US 1.5, and then I do 72 stitches. My own socks I do 68 stitches. My grandma's socks, I do 72 stitches. My sister, my mom, other humans, I do 64 stitches. So it ranges, whoever I'm making them for. So that is my first finished object. I have 2 socks, and they striped pretty similarly. I started the new cake when I started the second sock. So they ended just about in the same spot. It looks like this one has a little bit of white or gray, not gray, brown, that is brown, not gray, on the toe, whereas the other one is fully the dark brick red. All right, I think that is all about those. I said it was Area 51 Fibers, if I can't remember if I said that or not. And 52 stitches. Oh, the dates that I started this. So I started these on November 11th and finished them on November 16th. So just a few days to finish those up. My next socks will fit on the blockers. So let me put one on there. These are my grandma's socks. So grandma, if you are watching, tap the screen on the right side a couple times to skip through so that you don't see your Christmas socks. So these are what I call my Ellie socks, and that is because of the colorway name. And they are Vanilla DK socks by Kay Litton. My vanilla socks that I do for fingering weight is kind of my own recipe, but if you want a really good one, Kay Litton's vanilla socks is what I started out with myself. So those are good ones. But these are the DK weight socks. This is Nerdy Knits. Nope. Yes? Yes. Nerdy Knits DK weight yarn in the colorway Ellie, which is from a video game, I believe, Little Witch in the Woods. I did my normal 8 rounds for the leg, 10 rounds, nope, 8 rounds for the cuff. I can't get my leg and cuff together today. 8 rounds for the cuff, 10 rounds for the leg, normal slip stitch, heel flap and gusset, normal toe, and let's see, these are the large, so that is 56 stitches if I'm not mistaken. This is a free pattern, so if you want some good vanilla DK weight socks, go ahead and pick these up from the Crazy Sock Lady. But yes, these are for my grandma, and I have 2 of those. So they are done. I believe that is all for those. So the dates on those was November 9th through the 19th. So a couple days on those. They were not my main project, so did those. And then my next one is for my friend Rezi, which Rezi, you can see these because they are for your mom, not for you. My friend Rezi's mom enjoys hand knit socks, so I made her a pair for Christmas as well. So these are called my Norma socks, and they are also Vanilla DK by Kay Litton. So here they are, and they are showing a little bit brighter on screen than they are in real life. It's just in the autumnal range of colors, but it is a colorway called Salem by Sorella, and if I am not mistaken, that was their 2021 Halloween collection that I got this from, and it's on their classic DK. So I do have the ball band for this. So Sorella yarns in the colorway Salem, and then classic DK. And I will be putting the, whoa, there we go. I will be putting the grippy paint on both my grandma's socks and Norma's socks. So they will have grippy paint on the bottom so that they can wear them safely in their home when they have hardwood floors or laminated floors. The counts for this one, this is the medium size sock, so I believe that is the 48 stitch size. And then I did 8 rounds for the cuff, 12 rounds for the leg, normal slip stitch, heel flap and gusset, normal toe. And so those are done. This one, I liked how it's striped on the gusset, where one side has like a yellow splotch and then the other side has like a red and gray stripe. I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, those are my 3rd finished object. So my 4th is kind of a collaboration. Collaboration? Is that even a word? Collaboration. Anyway, it's a mix of little tiny things that I have made. So last weekend, my local knit store had a kind of Thanksgiving party, and we all went there and knitted or crocheted little ornaments for the shop tree. So they had a bucket of DK scraps, and we just brought our own or purchased double pointed needles. It was coming. It took me a minute there, sorry. But we made little ornaments, and these are the 3 that I made while I was at the store. So I made a little tiny hat, a sweater, and then a sock. And I have made these tiny socks before for ornaments on my tree. And so I just pulled out some of the DK yarn and pulled out that pattern and made them one of those. But that sent me on a little expedition that I now want to make a whole bunch of tiny little socks and give them away with Christmas presents. So I'll put some on some gifts that I'm giving. So, you know, wrapping one for my grandma, I'll put one on there, give some out to friends. So I have been making one a day since then, and so I'll show you a couple of them. And these are all random DK weight yarns that I have in my scrappy stash. So not all of them I'm going to know, but some of them I will. So I do not know the colorway of this one, and I ordered these like keychain in a bulk from Amazon, so I just reach in and grab one. I have the keychain loops that I can use at some point, and then these that automatically have the loop on them, and so I just sew the beginning end edge to the loop so that they're solid in there. But I will link the pattern for these below. I believe it is a free pattern, so you can grab it. And I do have some modifications to it because some of my DK weight, like this one, are a little bit thicker. This is a fiber seed colorway, which I do not remember the colorway right off the top of my head. This one is Ellie, so the one I just made for my grandma. This is a fiber seed colorway in Peacock, I believe is this one. This is a mix of the Dead City by Nerdy Knits and the Explore Knits and Fibers Avenor colorway that I made my stick season out of. So I mixed and matched those. This one's more of a worsted weight, so it's a little bit bigger, but it is in Malabrigo Mecca, I think is the base, and then the colorway Solace. And then this is another fiber seed colorway, Handsome Like a Flamingo. And this is a breaking yarn colorway, Breaking Black, I believe. So those are the ones that I've created so far. I will continue to make these, maybe not one a day, but I will make a couple more between here and Christmas and get those made for friends. So that is all of the finished objects that I have. I feel like I rushed through those, but at the same time that it was a lot. So those are all the finished objects I have. The rest of the episode is going to be kind of a mix of acquisitions, lifey stuff, and works in progress, because they all kind of tie together. So it's just going to be a little bit of a mashup of those three sections. So let's get started on works in progress. So the first one that I worked on in the past 2 weeks is, if you watched the last episode, you know that I was going to pick up my grandma from Raleigh, and so I needed a project to work on that. So I pulled out my Baby Sunshine or Sunshine Baby, I could never remember which order it goes in, but it is my shawl that's meant to be a baby blanket as far as what the pattern is written for, but it is most definitely going to be a shawl for me, just to be cozy in. It is getting quite large. So I am definitely in the second skein of my shawl. And let's see if I can find the little rabbit charm here. So this charm that is going to be upside down unless I flip it this way. This is where I was the last time I showed it to you. And then I got maybe 2.5 inches done on the main part of the shawl. I almost said the skein, but that is also true. So this yarn is Long Dog yarn in the Bounce Sock, which I can't remember if Bounce Sock is the one that she still has. I know she got rid of one of her sock bases, but this is the 75-25 base, and it is the colorway Silver and Gold, which she had, I believe, for two. Come on, camera, you can do it. There we go. Which is the, she had it 2 years in a row for her, like, holiday collection. So this is it in the skein. It is just a light gray blue, I would say, with gold, orange, brown, maybe some red, pink speckles every once in a while. So that is the main skein. I will pretty much finish the second skein there because I have the yarn to do it. So I will just make it as big as it possibly can get. If I needed to stop now, it would be just big enough, but I'll finish that skein. And then I have decided to use this leftover skein from Malabrigo. It's Malabrigo Sock in the colorway Ochre. And I will use it as, there's a garter stitch border that goes for about 2 inches, and so I'll just pop this on as a contrasting color, and it should look pretty good with it. It did have a yellow mini skein that came with one of the skeins that I had, and it was a little bit lighter than this, but I have enough of this that I think it would look good, you know, for that garter border. So once I finish the main color, I'll switch to this for the garter border and be done with the shawl. So that is kind of my, I'm gonna say it's my main focus project, my big project, other than Christmas gifts, because those need to get rolling. So I'm mostly working on socks and Christmas gifts and things like that. And then if I just need a big project to just sit and focus on without thinking about stitch counts or whose gift it is or anything like that, this is what I pull out. So just some more detail shots of the shawl itself. I am knitting this, let's see, because I am doing it off of the pattern, which again, that pattern is Baby Sunshine, I believe, by Kelly Van Nykirk. And I am knitting it, it's supposed to be a DK weight, so I'm knitting it on fingering weight. And then I am knitting it on my knit side on a US 4 and on my purl side a US 3. I found out that my uneven stitches are, or rowing out I think is the term for it, happens when I am knitting stockinette flat. And so I will from now on be using a smaller needle for my purl side to cancel that out. So I think that is all the details for that. So that is my Baby Sunshine and is my main big project focus for right now. Hoping to get this done in the month of December. So that is the goal. Let me put it back in the bag here safely. It is in my Fox, Squirrel, and Bunny bag, which is by Cottontail Farms. It has been living in that, I think, since I got the bag back in March. So that is a knit along that I'm doing with my friends, Melissa and Evelyn. As far as I know, Melissa has made 2, and me and Evelyn are still working on ours, but mine's going to be done this month. That is the goal, is for it to be done this month. My next work in progress is in a Black Pearl Magic bag. This is one that I got last year for the Black Friday sale and received it earlier in the year. And I'm working on my Sun Kiss contrast socks is what I'm calling them. These are for my sister. Let me get a blocker. These are for my sister. She already knows about them. I showed them to her. We went to a play for my niece and I showed it because I was working on them there, and I showed it to him, and then she also saw me working on it the other day. But these are her socks. So I have the first one done. This is the colorway Sunkissed by Super Glow Fibers, and their sock base. And then this mini is just a random blue mini from my local yarn shop, I believe. I can't actually remember where I got this one or if it was in maybe a mini skein set. But I was, if you remember, I said I wasn't going to do the toe. I was going to do the cuff and heel in the contrast color for these socks. But I changed my mind at the last minute because I am worried I'm going to run out of the main color. So what I did is I made a compromise and I did 2 decrease round sets. So 4 rows or rounds in the main color, and then I switched to the mini because I think I had 13 grams of the mini skein left when I got to the toe, and like 28 grams of the main skein. So I knew that I needed 4 grams for the toe at least, and so I just did the 4 rounds and then switched to the mini. So let me show you where the second sock is at, because that's actually where I am. And I don't remember where I was on that first sock in the last episode. Usually I keep a progress keeper on it so I can show you where I was at, but I moved it when I started the second sock. So I apologize for all the ends because I am in the middle of this sock, but I am on the heel flap. I'm just about done with the heel flap. So I've done the cuff and the leg and about to do the heel turn on that. Here is the label. Super Glow Fibers, Sunkissed in the sock base, and I will show you what is left of the skein. So this is my mini. It is getting very, very tiny. I actually had it in, I had a sweater on that had a pocket this morning, and I was knitting the heel flap with it just rolling around in my pocket because it was so tiny. And then this is the main color. So it is getting very close to the end. I hope I will have enough to finish this up. So that is where I am on the Sunkissed contrast socks. That's what I'm calling them. These are vanilla, my own recipe that I have for my vanilla socks. But again, if you need a good vanilla sock, look at Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady, and she has some amazing patterns and videos to go along with it. Oops, forgot to put this back in there. So that is that. The last work in progress that I have, sorry for all the zipping. The last work in progress I have is a new cast on and also acquisition at the same time. So I'm going to show you the yarn first and then I'll show you the project. So in February, the end of February, I'm going to a fiber retreat or a knitting retreat with some of my friends from my local yarn shop, and we decided to do a project together, so a knit along of a cardigan so that we all have the same cardigan to wear there. And I decided to do mine, it's a DK weight sweater, so I decided to do mine in Blue Sky Fiber wool stock worsted, which I always get a DK weight gauge with wool stock worsted, so I had no trouble getting the correct gauge and a nice fabric. But this is the colorway Wild Time. Is that upside down? It is, sorry. Wild Time. Let's see if it will focus. I'm having a hard time getting things to focus. So I purchased 5 skeins of Wild Time, which dark green. This is one of my favorite colors from Woolstock. The other color that I love is Midnight Sea, I think, and that's the one that I have my Brooklyn Raglan made out of. And this yarn softens up so fantastic after, you know, you block and wash it. So I can't wait to have a cardigan. I have a sweater, a pullover sweater with it, so I can't wait to have a cardigan. So I have 5 150-gram skeins of Blue Sky Fibers, and I cast on the project yesterday. So everyone was able to, or I say everyone, maybe not everyone, the group was able to meet this past week on Tuesday and Wednesday to cast on together and get started on the project. But we had a little bit of a different Thanksgiving this year and started our cooking on Tuesday, and then we had our Thanksgiving on Wednesday. So I wasn't able to go out to the shop and cast on with them, but I cast on yesterday, on Saturday, and got a little bit of work put in on it. So, and this one doesn't have to be done until February, so not a major rush on that. But it is the, I'm going to pop a picture of the pattern here just because there's not enough here for you to tell exactly what it's going to be. But it is the Vodka Lemonade pattern by Thea Coleman. And it is just like a classic vintage looking, that's what I think anyway, top down cardigan with some seed stitch details and lace details on the bottom of the cardigan. So since it is top down, you cast on the collar. So this is the beginning of my collar, and it is in seed stitch. And then it does have, let me make sure I have the right side here. It does have a little bit of a ribbing detail, and because I am knitting flat, I should be using a size 6 and a size 5, but I forgot to change my needle and realized halfway through that I am using both size 6s. So I will finish the collar and then we'll switch to the size 5 for the pearl side. But because I am doing that, my ribbing looks a little wavy here because my pearls are looser than my knits. So it's going to be a little bit wavy, but that will mostly block out whenever I get in there, whenever I get it done and blocked. But yeah, so that is the collar. So it'll be like this. And I think it folds back a little bit. So it'll be a cute little collar. You can't see anything because it's dark on top of my dark hair. But anyway, working on that, seed stitch, you know, knit purl. So going good with that. I put on my Christmas marker since I'll be working on this throughout Christmas and January. And then I also put on my gingerbread stitch stoppers. So I have 2 cakes wound up for this. So I'll show you the one that is attached. So I got this wound up yesterday. I always love yarn in a cake, so I like to show that off. But got that wound up yesterday. Cast on, so we'll be working on that intermittently. Again, my main focus is going to be my shawl to get that done because I really want to cast on my fragmentation shawl, and that is going to be done as soon as I finish Christmas gifts, and I'd like to have that shawl off the needles by that time. It is living in my Magner, is what I believe you say this, my Magner wax canvas bag that I got from Glenn's shop, and it's hanging out in there. Anything else that I want to add to that? Oh, I'm knitting there's so many sizes for the Vodka Lemonade cardigan. There are large range. I believe it starts at like 36 inches and then goes all the way up to like 68 if I'm not mistaken. But I am knitting the size 9 or 51 inch bust, and I believe that gives me about 3 or 4 inches of positive ease depending on time of the month, all that fun stuff. So it'll give me some positive ease because I don't like things to be super close fit, and make sure that I have enough room on my arms because I do not like things tight on my arms at all. So that is all my works in progress that I have going on right now, and that I have been working on the past 2 weeks. So now let's move into, I have one more acquisition to show you, and then I have a little pattern to talk to you about for a friend. So let's get into acquisitions. So other than the blue sky fibers that I picked up from my local yarn shop, I also got a new Fat Squirrel Fiber sock bag from her Christmas collection. I got the little ghosty bag from her Halloween collection, and it was the only other one that I had from her, and I love that bag. It is the perfect size. So I knew that the next release that she had, I would like to see if I could get a sock bag, and I actually forgot about the release. So I logged on fully expecting that there would be no more bags left, and this one was waiting for me. So picked that up to put some socks in whenever I cast on, or a hat, because I do need to make some hats. So I will put my next project in this bag. So that is the only acquisition that I got. Now, I did get, oops, sorry I bumped you guys. I did get, or begin opening my winter solstice box from Explore Knits and Fibers. And I opened that a little bit outside of the suggested opening range. So I do have where I should have 2 of those open when I actually have 4 open. But what I will do is I'm actually doing Vlogmas starting on December 1st. Vlogmas for me is not going to be a daily vlog, as far as I'm not going to record every day and then post a video every day. That's just not realistic for my personal lifestyle. So what I will do, one, I won't have enough content because, as we have spoken, I work, eat, sleep, knit. Those are the rotations that I have every day. So to have content for you to enjoy. I will probably do them at least weekly up until Christmas. I may even continue throughout the entire month of December, because we have some events going on after Christmas. So most likely I'll do it throughout the entire month of December and just do weekly vlogs and accumulate all of my days through there. That way you'll be able to see the advents that I got. And the first Vlogmas, I'll walk you through the advent calendars that I do have, but I'll just mention them here just in case you want to put me on your list to watch for Vlogmas, in case you want to see what's in those boxes or have those boxes and want to enjoy them along with me. So the first one I have is my full advent, is the homespun house. And so I have that one. It came. I was very nervous that one wasn't going to come because it had to come all the way from Germany, and with just shipping and customs and things, I was really worried that it might be a little delayed. But it is here. It is safe, and I have already opened the box to make sure everything was in there, and it is all good. So I do have that one. I also last minute ordered the Yarnaceous Fibers box. It is the warm neutrals box, but I only got the yarn, so there'll be a couple days that I don't have one to open in that box, because I think there's 8 days that I won't have one to open, and that's totally fine. I bought just the yarn box, so I don't have like the extra goodies days. So that one is in, and then I have a yarn swap that I did with the Crayabea here on YouTube. She did a yarn swap advent calendar with her community, and so me and Lori from Lori Travels swapped yarn boxes, and so I have that one ready to go, and it is a 12-day. And then I also have the 12-day from Ashen Bumble, which is the I Spy one. I don't have that one in hand yet, but it's only a 12-day one, so I have plenty of time to get that one in to open it. And we also have Charlie. I got Charlie a small animal advent calendar. She got it last year, and I think I got it for her the year before. And she gets very excited about that. So you'll see her open her advent every day as well. So looking forward to that. And then of course I will bring you along if my day-to-day life. You'll see little snippets of my day, and if we get up to anything exciting, then I will take you along with me. So that is the plan for Vlogmas. So if you do not see a video from me the first couple of days of December, it'll probably be weekly, but if I get a lot of content, then I may put out more videos depending on how many minutes I am able to record during my day. So that is Lifey Vlog, acquisitions, all of that. So the last thing I want to talk about before signing off for today's video is my friend reached out to me and asked me to give some advice about mittens, crochet specifically for his daughter, who he bought some beautiful alpaca yarn. He sent me a picture of it, and so I believe you pronounce your name Annie. I don't know if it's Ann or Annie, but hello. I've seen you before. And so I sent your dad a link, and I will post this link down below for everyone else as well. And it is Little Drops of Wonderful here on YouTube. She has a crochet mitt, like a fingerless glove pattern that is free, but you can also buy the paid version if you have the capability to do that on Ravelry. But she also has a blog that goes through it, and that she has a video that walks you through step by step. They're amazing and very customizable as far as you can adjust the stitch count to make larger or smaller gloves. I removed the thumb ribbing part because my thumb was not fitting into my glove, which meant that I just needed a little bit of extra space. So it's very, very customizable, and I'll post a picture here of the ones that I made. I don't have them with me because they were for a friend, but they're DK weight, and I'm not sure what yarn your dad got, if he got you fingering weight or sport weight or the DK weight version. But either way, you can still use this pattern. You can hold the fingering weight double and crochet the 2 strands together. That's what I did in the pattern that I just showed you, or the picture I just showed you. So you can hold 2 fingering weight strands together and still get that DK weight thickness. So these are also customizable if you don't have a lot of yarn. I don't know the yardage that you got in the skein that your dad got you, but you can adjust them. So if you want it to be a little bit longer, you can add just more rounds when you're doing that part, or if you need a little bit more length here or shorter because you are running out of yarn, just make sure that you split your yarn in half and have enough for making two. So yeah, that is the pattern. I cannot remember what they are called. One second, let me look them up. I sent it to your dad last night. Let me see. They just say crochet hand warmers. Yeah, crochet hand warmers by Little Drops of Wonderful here on YouTube. So look at that, and anyone else who wanted to do that, great tutorial as well. I followed the tutorial as well as purchasing the pattern just so I could have a copy of it to make some in the future. But it is a great, simple little hand warmer pattern. Alright, so that is all that I have to talk about today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I mention it every once in a while, but my personal goal is to get to 100 subscribers, and I am so close. So if you don't mind and make my day, please hit the subscribe button to let me know that you're enjoying my content and that you want to see more. Follow me so that you're able to see Vlogmas and what I have in store for the yarns here and the projects that I'm currently working on. But please subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed this particular video, and also leave me a comment. Let me know what you're working on, how your day's going. Are you excited about Vlogmas? Do you have some Vlogmas participants that you like to watch every year? If you do, let me know who you like to watch. I particularly like to watch the Crazy Sock Lady. I watch Nitty Natty, The Little Wolf Knits, of course, Finished Knitting Stories. I enjoy watching all of those. So I'll link all the channels below so that you can follow them for their Vlogmas as well. But yeah, let me know who you're excited to see, and it can be knitting related or just life related. Let me know who you like to watch, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.